Oh dear. Hello everyone, welcome back to Nukeshot Media for what is going to be round 5 of the ARS World GT Series here at Mount Panorama. Apologies that we're only just coming to you now. We've had some major technical difficulties, but we're finally here after much trial and tribulation. And also, joining me in the booth, besides my glass of orange juice, which is actually apple juice, don't know why I said orange.
It's me!
That's right, we've got Mika back in town.
I has returned.
So, Mount Panorama, of course, a very esteemed circuit, especially in Australia culture, with the V8 Supercar series and all of that good stuff. Everyone on the mediums at the moment seems to be what they're going to do for the start of the race. From what I'm hearing, Fred has got pole. Unfortunately, we missed qualifying, but that's just what he's messaged me in our team chat. So if that is the case, then that's our pole setter. Again, apologies that we've missed out on some of this stuff. If I'm being honest, we're doing well to have a stream at all, so there's definitely that. We should be getting the race underway not too long at all, though. In fact, it's about to start. Mika, if you could talk us through the grid as we get ready to race.
Yes. Well, it's going to be a 90-minute race, an endurance round this time around. We have Fred on pole. We have Swablu in second, Wake in third, Stick in fourth, Joe in fifth, James in sixth, Roland seventh, Rotary in eighth, in ninth we have Amuda, and in 10th we have Soda in the Audi RA.
So it's going to be 44 laps of racing here today. Of course, one pace lap to start us all off, I believe.
Yes, one pace lap, 70 mile an hour limit. And we expect to see some hard racing, I think. A lot of walls. I call it a fast Monaco. It's gonna be some carnage, I think, but fun carnage.
I'm gonna just go on board with Fred, I think, since we haven't had time to really go over a lap of the circuit. So turn one, back there, moderately simple but deceptive 90-degree left, as we're now making our way down what is known as the mountain straight. Big dip in elevation here as we go under the supercharged battery spanner. Making our way down to Griffin's Bend. 5 viewers on the stream already. Thank you for showing your support in this slightly difficult circumstance.
Slightly difficult, really difficult. Oh, the carnage.
Making our way through what is, I believe, the Audi cutting these days. Has the Armour All banners around the side there. Now continuing up the mountain. To what I believe is the McPhillamy Park section, which is coming up. Could be completely wrong on that. I'm going to just go over the Discord thing that was sent me. And now making our way towards Skyline. Mika, you can continue. You was about to take a breath there.
As they come onto a really tight section of corners, car tends really unsettle where Fred is coming up now. Car tends to really unsettle. It sometimes comes a bit off the ground into a small left-right corner, into a last really tight, almost hairpin-like corner onto the back straight. Speeds of over 270 kilometers an hour will be reached here without slipstream in some cars. A lot of overtaking is going to be happening here on this part of the track, and also later on coming into the corner after the straight. Really wide corner, a lot of speed carry into it, and a lot of overtaking opportunities.
Yep, we're getting the call now to form up double file. Apologies, it was Sulman Park, as it actually said on the side of the road, and McPhillamy Park was the corner after that, just before Skyline. They're coming up to the Chase, which is a corner that I do know, a very high-speed chicane. Fantastic complex, could be seeing plenty of action there without a doubt. It's going to be 5 laps on the mediums, or the secondary compounder tyre, minimum for this one. Of course, with it being 44 racing laps. We're about to get racing underway. As you see, Swablu will be on the outside line and Fred on the inside as we're about to get things underway here at Mount Panorama. Round the final corner, they approach. When will Fred start accelerating?
Right about.
It's gonna be at the timing line, of course. And we are green, 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 and the cars are off here at Mount Panorama. 3 wide at the back already. You'll see braking markers going flying.
Coming into Help corner.
Swablu gets a run.
Make it through?
Stig has gone off.
Stig is off.
Stig's gone
and
off.
And also TSR Wake has also gone off. Both of the Nissans are off track.
Well, we're side by side to the
again.
lead. It looks like Swablu in the Mercedes is going to have the run over the BMW. So they make their way towards Griffin's Bend for the first time. As that would appear to be Joe running a bit wide as well, being overtaken by Quinners and Rotary and Amuda. Amuda's into 4th. Fantastic start there by the American.
As Rotary is now looking. As Roland goes wide, does Roland have damage? Roland doesn't have damage, but lost a lot of time. There's Amuda's going for that podium spot.
Of course, reminder, it is livery week here today.
We have a red flag. We have a red flag.
Too many cars damaged, I assume. We're having a restart.
As Wake has damage, Stick has damage, Sota has damage, Joe has damage. As we will have a restart again.
Gives us a little bit more time, I suppose, for this build-up. Going to quickly go over some championship information. Going into this round, Wake, currently our championship leader on 76 points. The Joe 2 guy on 57 points in second. ART James found himself 3rd in the standings, breaking up the TSR group at the top of the table, with Swablu on 45 points and Stig on 35 points, rounding off the top 5. Fredwood is in 6th on 34 points. Wybear 7th on 29. Quinners is on 23 points. ART Splurge and Rotary both on 17 points apiece for 9th. For 11th, we have Sota on 8 points. Amuda on 6 points. They're in 12th. John Wandering still yet to score. They're on 0 points. As for the team's championship, Simpact Gojira lead Simpact Racing Team by a total of 9 points. It's 111 plays, 102. Closest challengers to the Simpact lads are Nukeshot X SSE. They're on 63, so quite a way back. Arrows Racing Blue on 48, still ahead of the main Arrows Racing team, who are on 40. Paradox Auto Works find themselves on 17 points, and GBM, Golden Bear Motorsport, they are on 6. And breathe. Oh, stream's there. Okay, hopefully should be fixed.
As we will go on to the restart soon after the carnage on lap 1. Sota having crashed on the formation lap. As well as, if I counted correct, 5 cars having damage.
The lap count's been reduced to 38.
39. I don't know.
Assuming if there is going to be another formation lap, it might just be regular rolling start without a formation lap. I'm sure the race director will clarify the situation to the drivers. If it's been red flagged, is it normally quali order?
Well, we haven't completed the first lap yet.
There will be a formation. Oh, no, that's just you asking if there's
Yeah.
one. Okay. Well, Wake making their way around the circuit, coming up to the rise, on their way down to the chase, Conrad Straight, of course. Named such because of the reputation it has for exploding engines. Again, thanks to the 5 people currently viewing the stream, despite the technical difficulties we've been having at the moment. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Yes, hello to Amuda in chat. He was in P4. Very good start by him, but unfortunately the race has been red flagged.
What I noticed, Amuda is always having really good starts.
Yes, in that sense it's similar to Lance Stroll. I know that a lot of people dislike Lance Stroll for his sort of, you know, his dad owns an F1 team sort of thing, but he is a very good underrated driver, especially when it comes to making positions from others' mistakes at the start of a race.
Usually. No, but Amuda always having really good starts, usually gaining a lot of positions. And also, Swabble having had a really good start. Sad to see you have to restart again. We will eventually will be restarting in the race order or in the qualifying order.
Well, the grid's currently been set with Swablu, Fred, Roland, Amuda, Rotary, so that appears to be race order from when the red flag was called.
Well, I think it usually was race order when one lap is completed.
It's all very technical details with there. Of course, we're not the FIA, we are the Sim Racing Federation, and again, we haven't necessarily dealt with this sort of thing yet. Nevertheless, we're about to get racing underway again.
Hopefully without any problems.
Yep, hope everyone will be able to keep it clean. So, here we are, as they left off.
Restart in the race order.
It's going to be Swablu leading them off then, as he did get the jump on Fred at the start. Fred will be in second, Roland in third, Amuda in fourth, so they've managed to get their speed up a bit. The 70 miles an hour, that is confirmation we are having another pace lap. So that's good that we have clarification on that one. Again, credit to the organisers for also having to deal with this situation. It isn't easy being an organiser, and of course they are doing a fantastic job at what they are doing.
Everyone keeping distance in between each other. We now have Fred in second, Roland in third, Amuda in fourth, Rotary in fifth, James in sixth, TSR Joe in seventh, Sota in eighth, and Stick and Wake in ninth and 10th place in the GTR.
I think this is a good time to actually show off some of the liveries, since it is livery week. Of course, there will be a poll, probably at a later time, unfortunately, due to a lot of the liveries actually only being seen for the first time here today. So, here are some of the liveries. Here is TSR Swablu's one, courtesy of, I believe it was Jimmy that has designed the ones for the Simpac main team this time around, so nice work for him.
Also, Jimmy, get well soon, as I have heard you have broken your ankle.
Yes, of course.
Get well soon, lad.
There we see Fred Dude's one, and here we also see the ART main team one, the Porsche. Nice throwback.
Porsche.
And Amuda going for a Rebellion Racing themed one with their art car that they ran at Le Mans in 2019. Quite a fan of that one. We have...
Rebellion is always good.
Yeah, of course, you would say that. We have a Jack Daniels sponsored car with Rotary. What I at first described as a Duracell battery,
Oh no, no! Don't disrespect the whiskey like that.
It is a fantastic livery. Fantastic. I like the weaving there. Was that just him weaving in disappointment of me making that comment? I don't know.
Probably.
We have James here with another fantastic livery. It appears to be a Zokeo sponsored design, at least by the thing on the back. And to Joe, again, similar to the one by Swablu, or ran by Swablu, I should say, by Jimmy. But of course, white instead of the black. Quite an interesting take on a TSR classic design. We have Sota with what appears to be a matte finish, which is very nice, I have to say. Nice looking in this lighting. TSR Stig with what I believe was originally based on a Nissan Primera BTCC livery. I at first, when Wade messaged me about it, thought it resembled the BMW M3 art car with the lines and stuff.
Yes.
Nevertheless, a fantastic design there. Of course, yellow accents for TSR Stig, green accents, the more aerodynamic car for TSR Wade.
I also, it reminds, the GTRs remind me a bit of the flow vis they use in Formula 1.
Yes, it does look very similar to that, doesn't it? Now,
Really
the cars.
good. I think I can't give opinions, but if I could, I would say the GTR and the Jack Daniels, because I love Jack Daniels. Oh, one of the best cars around. Everyone's livery is beautiful.
Fantastic effort by everyone here today. As we're about to get racing underway again, we'll be at the timing line again, of course.
Coming into the last corner, then coming up to Hell Corner, as they call it.
We're about to get racing underway here at Mount Panorama. Swabble will cross the timing line, and we are green, and the cars are off again. Hopefully it's going to be a cleaner start from the pack. It seems that Quinners is going for second place. Fred's ran wide.
Has gone off.
You seem to be...
Let's go 3 wide on the mountain.
Yep, 3 wide for second. This is not going to end well. This is... oh dear.
Grass being thrown around. Oh, Amuda gets forced off a bit of track and he's almost losing it. Everyone late braking.
Oh! The camera's been ran over.
The camera's been knocked out of the curb.
Unbelievable scenes, and through all of that, it is Swablu's getting a clear gap here, and Joe finds himself up into second somehow.
As Stig has also made 5 positions.
Yes, great start there
4.
by Lord Stigworth. Fred seemed to really lose out of that restart, seemed to just not have enough room on the outside. Now the leader making their way
Amuda brushes
in the
the wall.
following part. Amuda is
having
in
rear
fourth.
bumper damage, and James also having damage, engine damage.
We're gonna have to see if we can get a replay. What happened to James then? Oh, we've just missed it. But 2 cars with damage, one of them with engine damage. We're gonna see whether there is going to be a caution. I don't think we're going to have another red flag. Swablu charging his way down Conrad Straight. Indeed, still green, so they're being judged to be single car incidents. It's a Mercedes 1-2 here at Mount Panorama.
Joe, it's 280 kilometers an hour when coming into the chase.
Fantastic stuff. Quinners also looking to get in the mix. They're in third at the moment in that Porsche.
And Stig now up into 4th position, having overtaken the damaged Lexus from Amuda. As Fred is almost side by side with Blake, the 2 Belgians fighting coming into Hell Corner. Is Fred gonna make it? No, he hangs back.
Backs out of it. I think he's gonna try something, trying to get the slipstream here on the straight, though it is difficult with the GTR, as we know, a very good straight line car, as James makes his way into the pits. It would seem, actually, that Swablu's being caught quite rapidly by Joe, his teammate. Less than 5 tenths between them.
Some teammate working or are we going to see some racing by these two guys?
We'll have to see. Things looking very spicy here as they make their way down towards McPhillamy Park.
As Wake is now with Fred on Rotary's gearbox in the brown and, no, let's say bronze and black Jack Daniels car.
Yep. Oh, this is a fantastic scrap as they're making their way down the S's. Pretty much single file though, so everyone's going to have to exercise a bit of restraint.
Amuda is especially. Oh, he almost takes Roddy with him.
Oh, Brody's car!
Brody doesn't have damage, but managed to save the car.
Unbelievable scene.
As Fred is now trying to move out of the slipstream of Wake. As Brody also is trying to hang on.
Oh, it's going to be difficult.
Does that Jaguar have enough speed for breaking into the chase?
Oh, it's going to be risky. It looks like... Oh, please hold station. It looks like they are going to hold station for now. Although that was quite a bump over the curb there by the GTR. That's allowing Fred to try the outside, is it? No, can't quite get there. Amuda dives to the pit lane.
Sota also some space to move in on this battle as Amuda comes into the pits to repair the damage he has taken.
As Joe is up into the lead of the race, I did predict that he would get up there. He was making quite a lot of ground. Unfortunately, we missed that overtake as we was watching the other battle unfold. But it is Joe ahead of Swablu now as we are on to lap 3 of racing. Making the way through Griffin's Bend. Nice amount of exit curb taken there. Now making the way through the cutting.
As Fred takes a whole lot of curb right there. And Brody also slowly but surely coming back as they're on each other's gearboxes.
On board with Fred, dude.
Fred trying to fight some space, some gap, just to throw the car in there and get past Wake for that P5.
Making their way
downtown.
Around the circuit. Of course, I knew you was going to make that joke. Oh, Wake on the dirt there. Now that could actually unsettle the car as they make their way into heavy traction control.
Fred trying to hold on that quick Nissan. We all know that Nissan is mighty quick.
Great camera work again by Jack Wilkinson. He's made his way all the way to Australia for this event. It would seem this is the closest on track.
To close up.
Again, I think it's just going to be a case of patience.
As he's gonna almost top out on the end of the straight.
Well, Wake does have the added aerodynamics of those green rims on his side.
That probably is it. As Fred is gonna run wide onto the
Fred's run
gravel.
wide.
Fred is into the wall! Oh, he isn't.
Well, he's got damage, so what on earth happened there?
He's been hit by Rotary.
Was that on the rejoin? Or...
Probably it was a big leg spike that Brody accidentally hit him. Rotary having engine damage, so to now moving up to P7.
Definite netcode there, just a massive reset. Really unfortunate. It reminds me of something that happened to Wake at Monza, if I recall. Remember when cars used to go and be reset at the first chicane at Monza?
Oh yes, virtual caution. As I also realized, Roland has been catching up slowly but surely on those two BMWs.
Mercedes, I think you mean there, Chief.
I did this exact same thing. I did this afternoon. The Mercedes, I'm really sorry, all Mercedes fans. I'm not trying to offend you, I'm just stupid.
Nevertheless, we are under full course caution here at Mount Panorama. We are 4 laps down in this event. Everyone's gonna have a chance to make their pit stops. Now, they're not going to have the ability, since They're still on the mediums, quite a lot of these guys, to switch over to the softs, unless they pit not this lap but the lap after, because that's 5 laps of racing. So that could be interesting. We could be seeing some people diving for the pits on the restart lap. Perhaps there's some clear air as well. Could be an interesting strategy. We're hearing wake lagged from Fred.
And Fred lagged for us.
Yeah, Fred definitely lagged on our end. That's what we saw. Again, really unfortunate with this netcode stuff. Again, we can't really do much about it. But the race has been neutralised. That at least brings it a more fairer level playing field after the unfortunate incidents.
As I will be right back.
Okay. See you in a bit. So, is anyone going to dive for the pits? Fred surely will be diving for the pits. Yep, as will Rotato. As is Amuda. So Amuda also probably having damage at the start. Actually, no, Amuda doesn't have damage. So this is just playing into their strategy game here. Maybe they're going for the mediums. They're changing tyres, that's for sure. And they are staying on a set of softs. So new set of softs for Amuda. As Fred switches from the mediums to the softs. I believe that's still 1 lap short, unless you count the lap. Actually, maybe if you count the lap with the red flag, still. Although, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Restart this lap we're hearing from race control. So I think should be getting underway shortly. Hello to CJ in the chat as well. Nice having you along for this event.
I have been returned.
You've been returned. Did someone steal you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear. We steal Mikas and sell money. That's the new motto here.
Of course. Or it's a BMW AMG VG3.
Oh dear.
I am
Professionalism here at Nukeshot Media. So
professionalism. Oh, never mind. My English.
Nah, it's okay, dude. It's okay. We heard from race control that we're going to be restarting this lap. It's still going to be a Mercedes 1-2 by the end of it. Quinn is looking to be in a good position as well. The Porsche, very good for traction naturally, even though it is a mid-engine Porsche, not rear-engine. Porsches naturally are very good on traction. Could be a good restart by Quinners.
So we're coming on to the chase now. Isn't the chase a TV show?
Yes, Mika, the chase is a TV show. And we're not actually at the chase yet. The chase is the chicane. The straight is Conrad Straight.
Oh yeah, Conrad Straight. I swear the chase is a TV show.
It is a TV show, I just said.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No, it actually is.
You know where I know it from?
TV?
No, Sidemen.
Oh, of course, the Sidemen. Big up the Sidemen.
Love the chase.
Of course, very small channel. They need all the support they can get.
Big up Toby.
Of course.
Big up Akati 7.
And after all that, we're making our way to the final corner as we're about to get the restart underway. As I predicted, some cars going into the pits.
Everyone is coming into the pits for a set of softs, I think.
Yep, they're doing a medium stint, so that's out of the way. It's going to be Stig in the GTR who's going to be leading us for the restart then. It is green once again here at Mount Panorama. Look at James going for the inside camera. Messing up.
But Jack.
Apologies for that. Yeah, Jack Wilkinson, get back to work like the Squidward you are. Anyway, James now finds himself up into second place. Amuda in the Lexus looking to be hot on his heels. Sota also in the mix. It's a top 4 split at the moment. They make their way through Griffin's Bend.
Is behind Rotary.
Oh, side by side for 6th. Look at this. Or 5th rather. Joe and Rotary. Joe manages to go around the outside, going into the Audi cutting. Fantastic work there by the Joe 2 guy.
As we have a little train going on. We have virtual damage by Fred.
Vehicle damage for Fred. What's happened here?
As that had to be a one-man accident, as everyone is alright except for Fred.
Yeah, Wake, the only other car around him, and he didn't seem to have any damage. So, single car, still green.
As Amuda is still really keeping up with James and Stig.
It's been a very good showing from Amuda so far. Seems to have re-stepped up his game.
Amuda is also on the softs.
Yes, I believe he switched to a new set of softs in the pit stop. He started on the softs, I believe, from what I saw. So he's still got the medium stint to do later in the race, but at the moment he's keeping up with the guys ahead of him. James also looking to be closing up a little bit on Stig. Now, we know the GTR straight line performance. The Aston Martin, also not to be underestimated, with that V12 engine, has plenty of acceleration. Indeed, Sota making a pit stop. They're on the mediums at the moment. They'll probably be switching over to the softs.
Roland is still up. Rotary's gearbox behind him. Swablu and Wake. Sota joining them behind them. And Fred now 7 seconds behind after having repaired his damage. Has a lot of work to do.
Back to the battle for the lead. James really closing up now as they're making their way through the Audi cutting. Now going rear wing cam on the Nissan of Stig. Look how close to the barriers, a touch of the barriers as they make their way through this section.
Into the barrier would be happy.
Oh no indeed. Now making their way towards Skyline.
I'm surprised no one has carried on straight in this corner yet.
They might have. We may have just missed it, although it seems that it's not the case. Now,
Who's having a good exit there. Trying to gain time in the slipstream of Stig.
I also think that Joe's going to try and make a move. Look at this on a move.
Oh, I didn't notice it.
Little bit of contact there. I think that's going to stop Joe from having a run unless he can get it stopped on the brakes. Then again, we should also monitor
the widest race car ever to exist. Not giving Joe any space.
Yep, things seem to be okay at the moment. Amuda's still holding on to that third.
So this side is probably gonna make a move for fifth.
Oh, round the outside.
Soon as is he sending it into the corner? Just hangs back.
Yep.
The train of 1, 2, 3, 4 people almost.
Oh, and all this battling between Amuda and Joe. Look at this, 5 people, all in a train together. Rear wing cam now. Look at this. Looking back from Amuda's Lexus.
Oh, as James is going for a position. James is going for the lead.
Side by side as they make their way towards Griffin's. It looks like the Nissan has the pace on the outsideline.com. Manages to retain the position. Amuda seems to go a little bit wide. Look at this, side by side going through the cutting. Is Joe going to try it again? He's already made one move here. Amuda still on the inside. Look at that
not
from
giving
Joe.
him any space, and Joe makes the position into third. Joe, the second time he has made this move round the outside like the trailer park girls.
Oh, fantastic move there by the Joe 2 guy. And now look, Amuda seemed to get a bit of a mistake through McPhillips Park.
He's getting a bit impatient now.
Side by side going into the SS. Someone's off! Roland's off! Roland off. I don't think they've got damage. They have got damage. Ignore what I've said. Single car incident probably. Now making their way through the S's. Wake behind him. They might both start losing a bit of time because of this. Amuda down in 5th at the moment, meanwhile, as Rotary did manage to make that overtake stick on them. As the battle for The lead, I think, is getting close again as they're making their way down towards the chase. James...
Is he gonna send it?
Oh.
Still hanging back.
Yeah, it is an endurance race, of course.
Oh, his Wake's going for a move on Roland.
Can't quite get it done. Will Quinners dive for the pits? It would seem to be the case, yes. Probably the safest bet here. You lose a lot of time, especially if it's aero damage on the straights here at Mount Panorama.
What is it called? Bathurst or Mount Panorama?
It goes by both names. I believe it's Mount Panorama, which is in Bathurst.
As James is going for the move again.
He's got the inside line yet again. Though Stig seems very confident of running around the outside. Of course, the banking of Griffin's Bend really does allow you to get a fantastic run on the outside line.
This gives Joe a lot of time to catch up again. Oh, as Wake passes Swablu. And Roland still not that far behind.
We're gonna just get a replay here of what happened. Oh, it might have been something that happened to Swablu then. Oh, he seemed to just mess up going into Griffin's Bend, and that slow line seemed to just allow the overtake to be made quite easily. Now going up towards Skyline and through the S's with the lead group. James still all over the back of that Nissan.
James really good through this sector. Really strong showing from James, coming out of nowhere.
Oh, look at this though. The Joe 2 guy is really making gains. He's up into third and he is looking for vengeance.
Does that Mercedes have enough power to catch up before James catches up to Stig again?
Backed out of the corner entirely. Unfortunately, that's cost him another position as well.
This gives Rotary in P4 a great run coming up to him.
Vehicle damage for Swablu.
Virtual damage. Does anyone else have it? As Sota also has damage. Did they collide? Both going into the pits.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can get the replay up here. It was a collision. They were side by side through the chase. Amuda on the outside sent off. Both probably.
Wait a minute, we missed this. Joe is up into first position.
Joe's up into first now. What? So much happening in the space of no time at all. That must have been at turn 1.
Or at the mountain straight. Having clawed back a lot of time and now just flying away with it. Is James now at the third position being caught by Rotary?
Joe's actually on the soft compound at times while Stig is still on the mediums because they haven't made their pit stop to change off them yet. So that's probably why Joe is pulling away as fast as he is at the moment through the twisty section of the circuit. Indeed, Wake seems to be catching up to the back of Rotary as well as they're making their way through the S's.
Oh, as Roland almost loses it.
We'll just quickly see if I can
takes
catch
a really wide line there.
Yeah,
trying to catch up with Rotary. And GTR being mighty quick on the straights.
As I think there's some close racing for 8th at the moment as well between Swablu and Fred. With Swablu still with the damage. Fred gonna pull up alongside him. Seems quite straightforward. Yep, nothing really Swablu could do with that damage.
This Wake is now really close to Rotary for that 4th position.
Oh, and we're coming up to a straight as well. Now, mountain straight with the elevation and such, look how close Rotary actually is. Oh, or rather Wake is to Rotary. Now, here we go on board with the GTR. Look at the speed difference with the slipstream.
This Wake just throws it alongside.
But will Rotary be able to hold it on the outside?
In front at the end. Comfortable move for Wake.
Moves
getting him up to
his way
4th position.
And given he actually started near the back of the field, It's been a fantastic recovery from that. Again, Mr. Recovery Drive this season has been Wade, and of course championship leader. It really does show the kind of performance that he is capable of.
Roden is now also really closing up to Rotary as well. As Roden has damage. I just noticed.
I think he just clipped the grass on exit there. We're gonna see again. Just as it dipped down, I think he caught the grass and yep, just carried a little bit too much speed into the wall.
This is gonna be a great battle because Roland and Rotary both have damage on the same spot.
Oh, exactly the same?
Yeah, they both have right front damage and front splitter damage.
Well, we're about to see what the Porsche can do in the slipstream despite the damage. Looks like it might not be quite close enough to make a move going into the cutting. Bit of dirt kicked up there by Rotary. Indeed, they're holding station at the moment, but still very close between the two of them. In fact, Quinner seems to have caught up massively through the chase.
Is he going for the move into a hell corner as Rotary goes into the pit lane? Sorry, not hell corner. I thought they were a little bit further off track.
No, that's turn 1, I believe. Is hell corner.
Yeah, this is hell corner.
Now, what's going on towards the front? Joe has a 4.5 second lead over
as Fred do makes a move around the outside on a Muda. And not making it stick, trying to close up on the back on the mountain straight, sorry. Does that BMW have the power to get alongside or get ahead?
I don't know, the Lexus is good on the straights. We've seen it can be a bit of a brick in the corners at times from what we've heard from Amuda, but it is very good on the straights and can be a bit difficult to overtake. And Amuda's been having a really good race. It has to be credited as well. I did mention it earlier on. These two very close together as they make their way through the mountain section.
As everyone ahead of that is a bit in no man's land at this moment.
Ooh, very close between 6th and 7th. Now, almost a bit of contact there. Seemed that there was a bit of contact. I think they're both still okay with damage. I think it was just a love tap. Making their way through the S's now. Gonna go rear wing cam, I think, for a bit. Oh no, contact! Definite contact, definite damage between Amuda and Fred.
Both have damage. As if it gives Rotary and Swablu a chance to catch up and get that 6th position. As Rotary, as Fred is on the grass. Fred almost loses it on the grass, trying to give space to Swablu and Rotary as they both gain a position.
Yep, definite mistake there on Fred's part. Just looked at the replay footage for that one. He's gonna bail for the pits, I think, there to just repair the damage. Amuda as well.
Roland also gonna repair that damage that he has taken a while ago.
Yep, out of the pits he comes. He's going to rejoin in 5th place through all of this madness.
Still ahead of Rotary. As Swablu is right on Rotary's gearbox here. He's going to try to make a move.
Yep, side by side.
Mountain straight. He
Slots
pulls back in. Goes to the inside.
Oh, they are side by side. Rotary's gone too deep.
Rotary overcooks it.
I'm gonna see if I can get an onboard here of Rotary. I think he, just outbroke himself on the marbles. You can see already building up this early in the race.
As we also have a battle for P3 right now. Wake having really close up to James.
Indeed, that is the case. Look at this as they make their way through the S's. Jet Wilkinson there on the hillside as they make their way into Forest Elbow.
Big up Jack Wilkinson. Big up Jack Wilkinson.
Look at this, side by side. There are fantastic camera work here by Jack Wilkinson as they make their way down the straight. Again,
side by side into the chase. Are they going to make it? Oh, James not wanting to give it up, and they make contact. James having lost the position. No one has taken any damage.
That seemed fair enough there, Chief. Making their way through the final corner. Again, really? Oh, James tries the inside here.
Oh.
Very close to contact there. Didn't look like the car weight was unsettled.
Having the quicker exit. It's going to be straight line versus straight line speed. Who is running the quicker car right now?
Now the Aston does have the acceleration, I think, on the GTR with its V12, but the top end, I think, has to go for the GTR. Oh, to the outside!
And they make contact! James has gone off!
James
definitely has damage. It's a little... if they make contact.
I'm going to go for an onboard shot here, probably clarifies things as best as we can, see whether it was a single car incident or not. I think it might have just been James running on the grass a bit. There was the slightest touch, but you can't really warrant Wake being at fault for that, really. That was just really unfortunate. Amuda and Fred, where are they on circuit?
8th and 9th.
8th and 9th, that's why they weren't appearing on my radar there. Okay, here we go. Going through the mountain section. Now these two did make contact already down at Forest Elbow. Fred, surely he's not going to try the inside there of McPhillamy Park. That would have been absolutely mental. Hopefully he just stays back until getting a run down towards the chase on the Conrad Straight. And again, look how close he is to the back of the Lexus.
As Fred has set a 2-minute lap.
Fastest lap of the race.
Really coming out right now.
Yeah, fastest lap at the moment held by the Joe 2 guy, who's in the lead of the race on that soft compounder tyre. That's a 2:05.93 you're seeing on the left hand side of your screen. There's a bit of dust being kicked up as Fred's actually weaving.
Almost loses it.
I think he might have been weaving to get the dust off his tyres. Or someone span! Someone has span off!
Oh,
it's rotary!
It is Swablu.
No, it's Swablu!
Swablu has spun the car!
As
James is into the pits, repairing his damage. Also probably refueling the car.
What happened here? That is what happened to Swablu, just getting the chase run by himself, it seemed, then desperately trying to get back onto circuit.
As James now repairing his damage, also having gotten some fuel almost filled up to the brim. Yankee with no brim.
No brim on that fuel tank. Oh, if only that was the case in real life, as Amuda goes all over the curb on exit of was it Griffin's Bend? Is that one? Oh, sideways there. But as I think Fred has made the move now on Amuda, and so has Swablu. So Swablu may have made a mistake going through the Audi cutting. Gonna just see what happened here on a replay, if we can. Yep, just ran a bit too deep on the marbles into the wall, and that is how Amuda lost 2 positions in one corner. Again, 10-second lead now for the Joe 2 guy over TSR Stig. Wake in 3rd, making it a GTR and a Gojira 2-3. Roland, the best of the non-TSR cars, they're in 4th at the moment. Rotary 5th, closely followed by Thread? He's not on GT Planet. Fred, rather, as they're side by side now. Rotary on the grass. It seems that the BMW has the straight line edge over the Jaguar, at least on this occasion, as Stig goes into the pits for what is his first pit stop, I believe.
Yes, his first pit stop. Fuel and tires, I presume.
Where's he going to rejoin? I think he's going to be comfortably in 3rd ahead of Fred. Although it's going to be close with him and Roland. No, he's behind Roland. We're going back. Swablu seems to be chasing down on Rotary. We've got a 4-car group here of 5th through 8th.
As Fred is now slowly walking away from Rotary and the other boys.
Amuda hasn't got damage, he just seems to have dropped off the pace a little bit after being overtaken. Now making their way towards the cutting. Swablu all over the back of Rotary. Look at this as they're making their way through the cutting. Now, traction going up that section after the cutting, absolutely vital, so easy to spin with the kind of elevation you're dealing with there. Again, has to get really close to the wall to maximise your speed. All about rhythm is this top section of the mountain as Swablu clips the outside wall. As that was very sketchy there between Swablu and Rotary, both looking very late on the brakes, going into the S's, both seeming to survive. That's how desperate these guys are. But we're going to have to go on board here with Swablu, as he's going to probably have a run with a slipstream on Rotato. Rotato defends the inside line for what will be the first part of the chase, with the outside for the second part. In fact, the Jaguar, when the Mercedes doesn't have slipstream, seems to be the faster car.
Now
look at
coming
this.
up to the chase.
Backs out of it.
No, backs out of it.
Oh, but Rotary's gone too deep, and there's a bit of contact there on the rejoin. Now, Swablu was probably hoping that Rotary would run a bit wider so he could swap his way through. Yeah, Roland into the pits, meanwhile. Where does Roland rejoin? Is he in 4th? I believe he's in 4th, yep. He's in some very clear air at the moment. He's on a fresh set of racing softs. He's at half fuel.
Oh, it's almost loses it coming out of hell corner. Oh, really sideways there.
Gonna just get a quick replay of that then. Yep, looked for a move on Rotary. Put himself back behind. And then... yeah, didn't clip the grass. Just seemed to have a kicker oversteer from the Mercedes. Now making their way towards the cutting again. Oh, is it? We can't have that as a running joke, please.
No, please.
Oh dear.
Oh, please.
As Amuda seems to run a bit wide again at the Audi cutting. Seems to lose a little bit of time. Then again, he's still within that 7/10. Oh, he's gone up a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see the strategy of the Joe 2 guy, I think, since he's so far ahead. What does he do? Going through the S's though, Swablu and Rotary still very close together again.
Swablu, eager to get by.
Oh, it's Rotary
with the wall! Rotary has damage from right and bumper damage.
It's so easy to make that kind of a mistake. I'm going to have to go on board just to recapture the... Oh, what? Why are we over here again? Apologies. I've had a bit of an issue with the replay function there, but again, just really easy to mess up on the S's section, especially in these high stakes environments that we call sim racing.
It's Rotary now losing time. Muda now closing up to Rotary.
You definitely got to think Muda's going to have a run on Mountain Straight at least. As Swablu actually bails for the pits, it would seem.
Oh, Rotary tried to fake Amuda into going into the pit lane.
That would have been interesting. So
Swablu is also going off his first set, I think.
Yeah, he's still on the mediums, so he's going to be switching over to the softs without a doubt. As Fred Dude has the fastest lap of the race now, a 2:05.16. As side by side, Amuda does get a run on the damaged Jaguar of Rotary, and he's also got the inside line, but we know the outside line can be the favourable one going into Griffin's Bend. What are we going to see? They're still side by side through here. Racing room left. A bit of a twitch from the Lexus. And it looks like they're still going to be side by side through the cutting. And the Jaguar just about holds on, but they don't. They run too deep, and that's going to allow Amuda to easily get by. Or is it? Because it looked like it was very close to contact again as they came across, but no, Amuda very spatially aware in that case, managed to close the door safely. Now making their way through McPhillamy Park towards Skyline. Look at this fantastic view here as well of Mount Panorama. The surrounding countryside as well. Fantastic country is Australia. Never been. Would certainly want to someday. Oh, there we see the helicopter making a guest appearance. It would seem that Amuda is starting to drive away from the Jaguar of Rotary. That damaged Jaguar really seems to struggle on the straights at the moment. What else has been going off around the circuit? Joe currently with a 12-second lead over Wake, who has 10 seconds over Stig. Roland's still the top of the non-TSR cars, as my colleague has seemed to have opened a packet of crisps.
I wasn't muted.
Oh.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. We have Rotator going into the pits, probably to repair the damage. Looks like they've got tyres ready as well for the Jaguar.
Oh no, it's Roland. It's Roland is slowly reeling in Stig, and Fred is slowly reeling in Roland. You're gonna see a battle 4-3 later on, I think. Oh, I'm so ashamed of myself right now.
It's fine, Chief, it's fine. Fred, meanwhile, on the other hand, seems to have found his way up into 5th place at this stage in the race. So, after quite a poor first quarter of the race, he's managed to make some ground. Again, looking at some of the other guys around circuit, James, who we saw battling for the lead earlier on in the race, they're down in 7th at the moment, but again, so much can happen. We are, I believe, half race distance, pretty much exactly, as we're on lap 20. No, we can't. Great. Durton, we don't make any royalties as it is. Please leave my bank account alone.
Left.
That's the one. 50% of the race left. Ah dear. I'm really enjoying myself. I don't know about you, Chief. Swablu really closing up now on James. It's another battle that's gonna be developing very shortly. I think it's the closest one on circuit. They're making their way through the S's at the moment down towards the Forest Elbow. Jack Wilkinson still knelt down with his camera at that corner. Now, will we see the Mercedes get a run on the Aston Martin? I think the Aston might be too far ahead for an attempt into the chase this time around, but maybe something going across the start-finish line into Hell Corner or the Mountain Straight seems quite likely for Swablu to make an overtake. We're going to see how this one develops here. Swablu cleanly through the chase, making the way to the final corner. Muda dives for the pits. So, will they go onto their medium set of tyres? That'll be an interesting one. They are changing tyres, rather. Don't know about compounds as of yet. Yet to have that data come through. They're going to be fueling up as well. Where do they rejoin as well? They're going to rejoin, I think, in 8th. Or actually, no, probably a bit... Oh, it's going to be close, actually, between them and Rotary. And I think they are just ahead, so we're going to stick with the battle for 6th and 7th at the moment. Look how close the Mercedes is at the moment, going towards the Aston Martin, now making their way towards the cutting. Mika being suspiciously quiet again, as he's probably having more of his crisps.
Oh, yeah, I had. Oh, no, it's going to be a running joke.
It's okay. Oh, and a collision with the barrier there for Swablu avoids damage on this occasion. Just a few scratches. It probably lightens the car, actually.
Also, Rotary is now catching up to Muda within 5/10.
Yes, that's another battle to watch out. So, so 6th and 7th and 8th and 9th, both close. Sorry, carry on.
Fred is now appearing in the mirrors of Roland at this point, but also Roland gonna appear in the mirrors of Stig.
Right, so the top guys really starting to close up again, with exception for Joe and Wake at the moment, who's going to be quite far ahead of the rest of them. Going to be interesting to see as Swablu makes their way right behind the Aston again of James. Seems close enough to perhaps make a move. James covers the inside line for the chase. Will they manage to get it stopped? Just about. I think the Mercedes might have a bit of a better run here going towards the final corner.
So the slots back in, slots back out. You're going around the outside, later break in. Is Swablu going to make it?
Can't quite get it done.
Beautiful defending from James right there.
Very good defense, it has to be said.
Is he going to go into L corner? Hangs back again.
Rotary still just behind Amuda, but those two still also very close. In fact, no, there's been a swap there. As Rotary seems to have, well, maybe that was just going across the line. There was a timing glitch.
They were.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, timing glitch.
Apologies for that one, Chief. So James, as they make their way towards the mountain section, still ahead of Swablu at this stage. I'm going to just quickly cut, if I can, to... actually, no, never mind. Never mind, Swablu all over the back of James again as they make their way through the Audi cutting. Going to quickly check on what you were saying earlier about Roland and Fred getting closer. Indeed, 1.7 seconds the gap between those two, and Stig only 3 seconds up on that. So, and that gap is seeming to go down a little bit, although they are making their way towards the straight section where the GTR thrives. But indeed, things are starting to close up for 3rd, 4th, and 5th at this stage of the race here at Mount Panorama. It is round 5 of the ARS World GT Series. We are bringing it to you live from the studio, and we hope you are enjoying the racing so far that you are witnessing.
Gonna go for the run again.
If you're enjoying the stream so far,
make a mistake around here already, or coming into chase later on.
Be sure to leave a like if you are enjoying the action you're seeing right now, as we see the two of them side by side going down towards the chase. Who is going to break later?
James
it looks dead deep. Bit of
contact.
James has gone straight on.
James goes on. Oh, and he's spitting almost take out Swablu. As he is into the gravel trap.
No, we're going to have to watch the rejoin here.
Oh.
Yep, he slows down. Amuda has to go by as well. It's going to be 9th place for James after that. Can we have some Fs in the chat there for James? We've had one.
#BlockNation.
We had an F in the chat earlier, I think, or maybe that was just now. From Emilius, Ripperoni in the chat from Splurge.
Oh hey, it's
on
my
board.
boss.
Here it is. So a smidge of contact, and then just James out braking himself under the pressure. Unfortunate to see. That's 9th place for him at the moment. What battles do we have going on now around the circuit?
Not a lot.
1.8 seconds. So the gap between Quinners and Fred seems to have stabilised. But the gap between Quinners and Stig is dropping down. 1.9 seconds it just dropped down to within the 2-second margin there. As I'm going to quickly check on tyre wear actually. Oh, they're about even. They're about even on fuel as well. So it would seem that Stig's just losing a bit of time here. He hasn't got damage. He just seems to have lost 1.5 seconds in around a lap's time.
Maybe Stig having made a mistake.
Is a possibility. The leader into the pits. So this is the Joe 2 guy.
1% fuel.
They don't call him the win professor for nothing.
He is going for another set of softs. He's going. Is he going to the end on these ones? Probably.
Possibly. Unless there's a safety car.
Oh, good shout.
As fastest lap of the race.
Also comes in.
Fred Dude,
this
2
is
minutes
going to spice things really up.
Yes, Fred also in the pits there as well, as we're seeing. So where are these guys going to rejoin? Joe rejoins behind Stig, and it looks like Quinners could get a run on him as well in the Porsche. No, online features could not be reached. Oh no. PlayStation Network might be failing a bit. Oh no, no longer in a party. Mika's left. Oh, I don't know. Oh, let's hope the stream survives. I really hope the stream survives. As side by side, Quinners goes with Joe. Joe on the inside of Quinners in the wall. Was there damage to Quinners' car from that? No. Okay, it would seem that the stream is okay. It's just the party chats that aren't working properly. So unfortunately, that's going to be the end for Mika for this particular episode. Look how close it is though, as they make their way through McPhillamy Park down towards the Skyline section and the S's. In fact, Stig in shot as well. So 3 cars very, very close together still as they making their way through the S's down towards the Dipper. As I think I... no, it's not the Dipper, that is Forest Elbow. My apologies. Corner terminology. You just love it. Wake's still 4th, Fred in 5th after that pit stop, so Fred's pretty much stayed where he is. Swablu in 6th at the moment. The Jack Daniels Jaguar in 7th at the moment with Rotary behind the wheel. Amuda in 8th. They seem to have dropped off the pace a little bit after they were battling around 4th earlier in the race. Nevertheless, they're still going, and it is an endurance race, remember, so it's all about the consistency here, Chief. As I'm just gonna see if I can re-get the chat back up on my smartphone real quick. James in 9th. It's not been the best of races for James at this stage. Of course, making that mistake at the chase in a high pressure situation. Sota, haven't really seen much of Sota. It's because they've been chilling pretty much at the back of proceedings, unfortunately. You see how battered and bruised the front of that R8 is. Swabler, meanwhile, into the pits. It could be their last stop. Jack Wilkinson has somehow made his way to the top left of shot there, in the pits. As it's proving difficult to get the chat up at the moment. Apologies for that. Internet acting up again, but I think I haven't had a notification saying that the stream has stopped, so I believe things are still live here at Mount Panorama. As, oh, are we getting a bit close here for second? We're getting close to the lead even. The Joe 2 guy in the slipstream of Stig. Gonna go on board here with the Joe 2 guy's Mercedes. See if they can gain any time as they make their way over the rise down Comrade Straight, making their way to the chase. The Mercedes is gaining quite significantly, seems to have lifted off the throttle a little bit, although no, it would seem Stig lets Joe go by on this occasion. Of course, they are working together for the same team, though not in the championship standings. Of course, the Nissan team, Simpact Gojira, and the regular Simpact racing team in the Mercedes group. As Quinners goes into the pits, this will possibly be their last stop. They're very low on fuel, gonna have to fuel up quite a bit. Now, where does that put them in relation to some of the other guys around them? Fred making their way through the final corner. I think Quinners might be safe. I think they should be fine. Although there could be a bit of an undercut here from Fred. And it seems that they are okay at the moment. Both of them on the soft compounded tyres, so things developing interestingly for them. We'll have to monitor this battle. 1.5 seconds between them. Oh! Roland makes a mistake going through... names. Griffin's Bend, that's the one. Now making their way through the Audi cutting, and Fred Dude really gaining. Perhaps Roland just not used to the new tyres as of yet. Fred really gaining a lot of time, within 0.2 of a second now as they make their way through the mountain section. Look how close to the barrier winners? Quinners is. Quinners the winners. I've completely lost my mind on this stream. I do apologise for my everything, just in general, as through the essence they go down towards the Forest Elbow. Again, Porsche seems to have very good traction through there. I think he's started to feel out the tyres a bit more. He's going to have his hands full with that BMW in the slipstream. Again, fantastic work by cameraman Jack Wilkinson. as we've got another car going into the pits. I believe that's Stig. Yeah, Stig in the pits. Now, where will Stig rejoin in relation to these two? They have been battling, as we actually have a spin at the top of the mountain. I'll be bringing that to you shortly. I believe it was James. Oh, what happened here, James? Oh, just carrying too much speed into the wall. Ah, rear taps the grass and then spiraling down. It's like when your leg at a water park, you go down a water slide and your leg accidentally taps the side of the slide and just sends you into a spin. That is the best way I can describe what happened there, Chief. Professional analysis with everyone's favourite commentator besides Durton and Mika and everyone else. Nevertheless, the Joe 2 guy leads as we make our way into effectively the final quarter of the race. A little bit of time extra to go. Fastest lap still held by Fred. It's a 2:0.75. Wake in second. Stig did rejoin in third in the end. Fairly clear air for them at the stage. So it's a Simpact 1, 2 and 3 with a 2-3 for the Gojira outfit. Fred finds themselves in fourth as they make their way into the S's, and Quinner's not that far behind them. They're in fifth. So actually Fred managed to make an overtake then on Quinner's. Apologies for missing that whenever it was. Did Quinner's get damaged? No. So apologies for missing that, but Fred seemed to just have a little bit more pace in him. He did manage to catch up, and he's now finding himself closing up a bit to Lord Stigworth as well. Now then, as they're making their way across the line for what is going to be the 27th time of racing, as the battle for the lead is not at the moment. That was just Joe lapping Sota, who's still been struggling a bit in their Audi R8, unfortunately. The R8, a very difficult car to drive on a regular circuit, but with the kind of insane elevation change as Mount Panorama. Sota, you're a braver individual than I am. I'll just put it that way. Wake still comfortably in second. Stig third. In that GTR, looking not as quick through the mountain section. Of course, due to the difference in handling and balance of performance. Got to keep in mind. Quinner's in fifth. Now, if Fred does catch Stig and they start battling, that could make it a 3-car scrap as we get towards the closing stages of the race. It could be an interesting one to keep our eyes peeled for. I always thought that was a painful thing, peeling eyes. Seems like something Shrek would do. Anyway, on that note, Rotary and Swablu also moderately close together. 3.5 seconds separates the two of them. So they make their way through the S's this time around. Some aerial shots. I don't know if Jack Wilkinson has got a jetpack or some kind of teleportation device, because there he is again on that hillside. Nevertheless, Amuda in 8th at the moment. Pretty much in no man's land. Did a lot of battling early on. Very good stuff, good display by them. Seems to have just dropped off a little bit. James still in 9th place as things stand, and Soda a lap down. They are in 10th. And look at this. I did mention that this could happen as Rotary actually goes into the pits. they've still got a fair bit of fuel. Maybe that's for new tyres or something. Don't think they got damage. But Fred is indeed catching up to... Oh, they did get damage. My apologies. And of course, they did have a bit of tyre wear. So, that's indeed a thing. But Fred is catching up to the back of Stig, both of them grazing the wall on exit. It's going to be juicy as they make their way down towards the S's. Again, BMW seems to close up a little bit through the twistier stuff. Expect the GTR to get a bit of its time back. Although, look at that. Much tighter line there by Fred, dude. Could we perhaps see a run? It doesn't look like it. Even with the slipstream. The GTR very, very good on the straights. Just gonna have to be patient for now, I think. Although, look how much it closes up. There you also see Quinners in the back there, in 5th. That bright red Porsche, the Kenwood livery. Someone else is in the pits, not quite sure who it is. It's either 9th or 10th, because they're not appearing on my graphics. Again, through Hull Corner for what is the 29th time of asking. Again, the GTR pulling away on the straight. Sota obeying blue flags, just getting out of the way. There you see. So very sporting move there by Sota, good gesture. Of course, the reason flag rules are off for this championship but still apply, of course, such as blue flags, is mainly due to the automatic ghosting that occurs. Especially when yellow flags occur, of course, just to simulate a better sort of accident avoidance thing with the drivers. As going towards the S's now through Skyline and the Dipper. Now into the S's. Again, you can see the scratch marks on the walls as well, let alone the cars. Very close again between the two of them. They're holding station at the moment. This is definitely allowing Quinners to catch up though in the Porsche. Look at the angle on that camera shot. Fantastic stuff. It's by far the closest battle on circuit at the moment. Again, apologies that we're having these technical difficulties mid-race. Unfortunately losing Mika. I just really hope that the stream is still up and that I'm not just chatting to nobody. Through the final corner they go. Again, Fred looks just that little bit closer than he was before. Still the GTR pulls away. It takes quite a high speed for the slipstream to really be effective when chasing the GTR. And it looks like it's just coming up to the balancing point. Maybe. Nope, not quite. Still holding station. I'm going to try restarting my phone. Just to see if that can help restart me having access to the chat. So they're making their way up the mountain again. Amuda into the pits meanwhile from 8th. They also do a very calculated fuel usage there of 1%. They may have had to use fuel mapping to get that close, but nevertheless, as they're looking quite close to James. He's going to rejoin first. It looks like Amuda. As I'm going to just cut back to this now, as I think that's probably settled that one. Amuda in 8th still. still charging their way down. And again, Quinn is looking that little bit closer. Okay, starting up the phone again. Gonna have a quick look at Quinners here. There he is. Nice orange helmet. As I believe, although this is close, I'm just gonna have to monitor the battle for 8th as well. I think it is still close between those two as well. As indeed, look at this. Amuda and James still extremely close. Slide from Amuda. Slide from James as well. As Quinn has actually gone into the pits for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe they picked up damage at some point. Soda there in the R8. Okay, phone is rebooted. Gonna try and get the chat back up if I can. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, then my apologies. Fred still has the fastest lap of the race. Slight tap of the wall from Stig, making their way around. Great racing between the two of them at this stage. Oh, dirt being clipped up there by Stig. That could affect how much grip he has going into the S's. Then again, it is so difficult to overtake going into the S's. And he does manage to hold on. Credit to him for this. Good defensive work here by Stig, managing to keep Fred behind him. As I think I've managed to get chat back up. Hello to Emilius and Splurge in the chat. Yep, things seem to be operating as normal again as they make their way to the chase. It looks closer than it did before. Fred avoids running into the back of Stig, although it looked very, very close. These two getting very, very racy again. Hopefully we don't see a repeat of Spa, obviously, with all that confusion. So far, very respectful between the two of them. And yes, the Radish can see that. Thank you very much, Splurge, for that. Again, apologies for the lack of Amika's present. Or presence, rather. Present? He's not a gift to anyone, is he? Well, he's definitely a gift to me in the commentary booth. Gives me someone to talk to. As... here we see... I knew this was happening just looking at the minimap. James goes to the inside of Amuda, going into the chase. Who's going to be last of the late breakers here? They break it around the same point! And Amuda somehow manages to hold on to it. Well done, lad. That was fantastic. Side by side for third. Going through here? No, surely not. How are they doing this? Fred wisely backs out of it. Oh my life. What on earth? This is insane. Absolute insanity. We should be able to have a bit of a look back here. So Fred actually managed to get around the outside, going up through the mountain. A bit of a collision with the wall there for Fred. And these guys, fantastic racing between the two of them. None of them have damage? I assume no. Oh, that was fantastic. On the straight again. Still plenty of laps to go. I just looked at those Mitsubishi men there on that sign. That was kind of funny. Seem to be wearing their jumpers over their heads, as you would back at primary school and that. Down towards the final corner anyway. You just saw 2 hours of stewarding flash before your eyes. Oh dear, Splurge. Of course, Splurge in chat. One of the stewards, arguably head steward, although it is a body of colour. I could be completely wrong on that assumption. I know he is heavily involved in the stewarding process. Big up to you, my guy. Let's have a check-in on this battle as well. James will have the slipstream again on a Muda. Let's see what these guys can do here, hey? Breaking the slipstream as they make their way down the straight. As they're side by side! As they're making their way down towards the chase again. I think Amuda's just held onto it again, though James is looking for a cutback and a little bit of a better exit. How's this going to work out for him, making their way down towards the last corner? Amuda leaves space on the outside line.com. Looks like they hold station again, but Amuda doesn't use the full track width. And this allows James to have another run on the outside with that V12 Aston Martin. We know the acceleration of that. And again, looking for a bit of a better exit. Tighter line. Sets himself up better for the ladder section of it. And just going to these guys again. Still very close. Apologies if I am missing action on either battle's end. Difficult to watch two things at once. James goes around the outside of Amuda. Can't quite get it to stick. Or can he? No, he can't. Unfortunately, ran out of road, ran onto the marbles, ran into the barrier, and ran out of 8th place. Gonna be interesting to see how these develop still. Also, the battle for 3rd still on. Stig and Fred. Good battling between these two, very respectful, making their way across the line. We are into the final few laps of the race, where we're into the point where I'm not sure if we are going to have a full course caution. It will be called at this section, because we're that far into the race. So I think we're going to the end now. Purple in Sector 1 goes Stig. That shows the kind of pace that he has at the moment. Going through Griffin's Bend. Still extremely close between the two of these. Oh, lads. Lads, I don't know what to do. This is insane. Looking at this as well, through the chase they go, between Amuda and James. It seemed that James did have another attempt. He's going to try the outside of the final corner. Amuda seems to slide a little bit, manages to keep it on the road. Good work there by Amuda. Again, good defensive display. Through the S's, and down towards Forest Elbow yet again. Nissan holds station. But look how close the BMW is. The BMW well within the slipstream range. They could get a run going into the chase on this occasion. I think they're that close. James, meanwhile, up into 8th. They're side by side. I think they're just about ahead, so I'm going to have to cut to this. I think Fred is going to try the outside. He's kicking up a bit of dust. And unfortunately, well, unfortunately, has to back out of it on that occasion. Stig doing a fantastic job with the defensive work. Of course, got to try and remain a bit unbiased towards my driver and such. And that's fantastic battling between these two, really respectful stuff. James, meanwhile, yep, he has managed to get ahead of Amuda now. Amuda, oh, he's into the wall, and he's picked up damage. Let's see where that happened, Chief. Was it just on entry to the S's? Or was it just that bit of a barrier collision that we just witnessed? Yes, there it was. Now going up the mountain again. Scraping the wall there, Fred dude. Tell you, Fred, that paint cost a lot of money. That colour shift. Please be careful. Down towards the S's. The amount of focus that it requires when you're alone going through the S's is unbelievable. Let alone here, where it's a two-car battle. I thought Fred might have tried a very risky move going into Forest Elbow, backed out of it wisely, so just a bit of a contrasting line. Oh, this is absolutely epic. Meanwhile, in the lead, Joe with a 20-second gap over everyone else. Wake, who is in second, 3.6 seconds ahead of the battle between Stig and Fred. They're side by side again, going into the chase! Fred's going to try the outside. Seems that Fred just ran out of road a little bit. It seemed he's lost a little bit of time, but I don't think there was any foul play there. I think that was just him clipping the grass. We're going to see on this onboard. Yep, he just outbroke himself. No question about that. He's got a little bit of work to do to catch up again. He's got to try and make sure the GDR doesn't pull away. Meanwhile, James has got 12 seconds in hand over Amuda now, after Amuda made that mistake, giving themselves damage. So James in 8th. It's interesting because James has been the most successful of the ART drivers, driving for ARS Racing Blue. The one time that he hasn't got blue on his livery, he's down in 8th. Is blue the true aerodynamic colour? Find out after this commercial break. Have you had an accident at work that wasn't your fault? Well, too bad. Sucks to be you. The gap's increasing now between Stig and Fred, as I've got another online features unavailable PlayStation Network thing that's flashing in the corner of the stream as well. I think the stream is still going up. So yep, the Nissan seeming to pull away in these closing stages, but what a fantastic battle that was. Someone has gone off. Who on earth is that? Is that... I think that was Amuda. He rejoins with Joe just there. Oh, massively got it crossed up. And Joe into the pits? What's this about? Does he not think he has enough fuel to go to the end? Or maybe he's just going for fastest lap. That's probably what this is. This is a shot for fastest lap. Since Freddo currently holds that, and he does have enough space to try and go for that. Fantastic strategy call there. And Wake only just going across the line. It shows the kind of a gap Joe has managed to develop. 1.8 seconds between Stig and Fred. Could still close up again. You never know. Just takes one slip up from either driver. We've seen plenty of action in this race. If you've enjoyed all that you've seen so far, again, be sure to leave a like on the stream. Helps out the channel a lot. It's been one of the best streams I think I've ever been a part of. In terms of the actual action on circuit. Yeah, it got off to a shaky start. Am I glad that we kept trying with the stream, trying to get everything fixed so it would work. Also, the chat's gone a bit dead on me again, but I'm still seeing footage there. Ah, chat's back. Chat is back. Joe on mediums. No, he's on the softs. He did his medium stint first, like quite a lot of people. And he's coming up to Lapamuda here. This is purely just for fastest lap at this stage. Again, hello to Turn 1 in chat. He is confirming that blue is an aerodynamic colour. Alright. Unbelievable scenes, Jeff. Let's see some of the other stuff that's going on. Rotary, he's pretty much by himself at this stage. James in 8th. Amuda 9th. He should be getting blue flags. He pulls off to the side of the circuit indeed. Just allows Joe to go by. Oh, bit slidey there from the Goldenberg Motorsports machine. Also that fantastic Rebellion livery. Again, livery week. We've seen fantastic creativity from all the teams across the board. I really want to commend you all for that. There's probably going to be a video in the not too distant future on this channel which will feature a poll for the livery week. now that all the entries are being shown here, of course. So be sure to stick around on the channel, subscribe to, and have notifications on for when that video specifically comes out. What has been your favourite design of Livery Week so far? Well, I say so far. What's your favourite design of Livery Week? I am been really impressed by all of them, I have to say. Chat, be sure to leave your favourites that you've seen throughout the race here in chat, of course. Wake in second. This goes on the final lap of the race, and it looks like the gap has come down a little bit between Stig and Fred, though not by much. Stig, oh, he's looking a bit marginal on fuel. Then again, so is Fred, though less marginal. It could be a bit of fuel mapping here for Lord Stigworth, which is causing them to close up, so it could still yet be a fantastic finish. The Joe 2 guy, meanwhile, making his way down towards the chase for what will be the final time of asking. A very dominant display here by TSR Joe 2 guy. He's got one corner left under the Armorall Bridge. And he comes across the final corner, and he takes the win here at round 5 of the ARS World GT Series here at Mount Panorama. Congratulations to the Joe 2 guy. It's going to be Wake who will probably take second place. It seems pretty much assured. As look at this, I think Stig may have ran out of fuel or something, because Fred is up into third. It's going to be a race to the line. Do they still have enough fuel? He's weaving. What happened there? We're going to see what happened to Stig. Stig, he got it wrong at the chase. Unbelievable scenes. Fred takes it. Fred takes third place. What a fantastic battle between both drivers there, keeping it clean towards the end throughout as well. That was epic. Like, not even biased or anything. Stig, that was absolutely awesome, your drive as well, mate. That was insane. Just really unfortunate with that one mistake towards the end of it. Commiserations on that. Outside of the top 4 madness, we have Roland, who has come across the line in 5th. Good result for them. Swablu, perhaps not the kind of result they were looking for. 6th in the end for them. They were one of the only TSR cars to not have ballast from Spa-Francorchamps, since they didn't compete due to network issues. The Jack Daniels machine of Rotary, battered and bruised perhaps, but he comes across the line to take 7th. 8th place goes the way of James. Amuda 9th and Sota 10th. That concludes one of the most exciting races of the season. 6 places gained, and fastest lap in the end did go to the Joe 2 guy. Well done to him for that one. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, this top corner connection is looking a bit sketch. I'm just going to save the replay. Here are your race results. I probably can't do any interviews with that. It is the Joe 2 guy with a really dominant display. Fastest lap in the end as well. 1:59.975. He breaks the 2-minute barrier. Well done to Joe. Well done to Wake as well. Another very good display by them. Championship leader still retains that lead with quite a healthy margin over the rest of his competition. Fred Dude taking 3rd place from Stig after that slip up from Stig at the chase. Good effort from both of those drivers there. A fantastic duel. From what we caught on stream, that was very, very fair play as well. Definitely, in my eyes, hopefully makes up for the unfortunate skirmish at Spa. Quinners managed to take 5th, as we say. Swablu 6th, Rotary 7th, James in 8th, Amuda 9th, Soda 10th, the Joe 2 guy with the fastest lap of the race. We hope you have enjoyed what has been a fantastic event here at Mount Panorama. I've certainly enjoyed it. I hope you guys have too. Again, be sure to join us next week, where we go to a new circuit. Let's see where that is. Hold on, getting it on my second phone because I am rich like that. I'm not actually. Interlagos. We're going to Brazil for what is going to be a fantastic show. Hope to see you there. It is going to be another endurance round, so an hour and 30 minutes of action coming your way next week. Also, look forward to on the channel, hopefully, when the poll gets sorted, there will be a livery week showcase video similar to what I did on Half the Race Gone for the Nukeshot Endurance series, where we'll be showcasing the designs, and we'll also have the poll in the description. So be sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications on to keep in touch with that, so you can have access to the poll. Again, thanks to everyone who has stuck by us on the stream despite the technical issues. I'm so glad that we didn't give up on this. This was an absolute belter of a race. This has been Nukeshot Zokeo. Unfortunately, colleague Mika, as we said, with the internet issues on my end, apologies for that, no longer with us on the stream, but it was great having him here while he was here. I'm sure you would all echo that sentiment. Anyway, it is goodbye from all of us here at Nukeshot Media. We hope to see you again next time out. Until then, goodbye.